This is Frank Leone from Get5Bass.com with Brett Rudy from Burlington, Iowa. He's just won the no-boater division of the BFL All-American. Tell us about your week out on Lake DeGray.
Well, it started off Wednesday. I come down Monday actually, so had a couple days to look around, and get kind of settled in the hotel. And I had the same guy Wednesday and Thursday, and then we fished practice on Wednesday. Obviously, we run the lake a little bit, figured out what was going on. I've never been to a clear water lake, like this before. I was pretty new at fishing clear water. I've done it before, but never this far down in Arkansas. I've never been here. But tournament day, I ended up catching some practice on a jerkbait. If you get him schooling, I catch him on a jerkbait. He was throwing topwater a little bit, but the sun was shining all week, and then it was calm. The wind didn't blow down here. I think it blows at night. I catch him on jerkbait, and I was Carolina rigging a little bit of watermelon brush hog, and he wanted to flip bushes too. There's good fish up in those bushes still, but most of them were, I thought, off the bank a ways. But the first day of competition, I lost a 3.5 pounder right at the start of the day on a deep diving crankbait on a road bed, and then about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I caught a 3.6, which was the only fish I weighed in on day one. And that was flipping a bush, in 89-degree temp, no wind, and gin clear water. You could see the bottom 4 foot. And somehow I caught that fish. But then day 2, I had a different guy, and I caught 2 good ones right off the bat. 2 on a Carolina rig, watermelon brush hog, just like I told you before. And I fished for a couple hours and didn't have a bite, and he didn't catch any either. We fished this little main lake area around a point, or an island I should say, and clean water still, grass, drop-offs, points. And about noon, the sun was up real high, and you could see the bottom in about 10 foot of water, 8 or 10 foot of water. And we could see these 4 and 5 pound fish swimming around in wolf packs. They were everywhere around this island. So we started fishing. We're still fishing for them. And about noon, my boater partner, he's like, "There's fish right here on these brim beds. Is what we're looking for. The bluegills are up spawning, so the bass are up there chasing them off, I think." And he was looking at a 5 pounder down there. I didn't know how big it was, but I was, and I kind of looking up at him also, and I'm like, "I don't see it," And I hopped my beaver. I was throwing a Reaction Innovation Sweet Beaver, watermelon something natural looking. But right about the time he said, "I think that fish just ate something," I set the hook because he thumped my bait, and it was a 5 pounder. So that gave me 12 pounds on day 2 for 3 fish. And that was a great feeling when I had that weight, and that was at noon. I had 2 more hours to catch. I could have had a 19-pound bag, but so I took the lead on day 2, which I didn't want to do coming into this thing. There's a big target on your back, but today I was fishing with the #1 guy, obviously, and he said we were going to be fishing deep, so I had on DD22s, fat-free shads, Carolina rig, obviously. I still had the jerkbait tied on because he said he'd get some schooling fish, but that never panned out. It was slick water pretty much all day until the boat traffic got up. Then it was all waves. But I bet we run 40 different spots today. We run that Lowrance. He had waypoints, brush piles everywhere. We'd hit that brush pile for 10 minutes, and once we ticked it a couple times, each of us would leave. I caught my big one today about 10 o'clock, and after I had that one in, I felt better. I was getting kind of nervous because I wasn't getting any bites and he wasn't either, but he had 4 fish today, and then I had that big one, and then ended up, we run back to the ramp, and he said, "1 more stop." We actually pull up to this spot, ran clear around an island because there was a boat on the one he wanted to go to, but we went to this different one, and there's a pontoon boat on it. Well, it was about 40 yards off of his waypoint where his brush pile was, and we rolled up there and asked some people if we could fish right there. Sure enough, we had a camera boat following us and everything, and they said go right ahead. About my second cast, we had 15 minutes left before we had to come back. And my second cast, cast. I caught a 16-inch fish, which was my second keeper, and I just, at that point, I kind of thought, you know, it's going to take a lot to beat me. You know, the second, third place guys had good weights, but I knew I had a little bit of cushion. So, but other than that, that's pretty much how my week went.
What did you catch those fish on today?
Today they were both on deep diving crankbaits. One was on a fat-free shad, the other one was on a 700 series bandit. Both shad-looking baits. I got lucky. I mean, I was fishing used water all day today. You know, and he knew exactly where the brush piles were, and I just guessed. You know, I was throwing out in nowhere, and, hoping that I hit something. You know, and I lucked out with 2 fish and had enough weight to stay on top, even with the target on me. So.
Well, congratulations, Brett.
All right.